Hello and welcome to Invictus Motors. One of my all-time dream Porsche 911 GT3 has been the 997 Generation 1 GT3. And that's because this has the last of the truly iconic Mesca engines. And it's got quite a bit of analog technology, that hydraulic steering wheel, how the exhaust sounds and feels. And this is where you had the days of the indirect fuel-injected engines in the Porsche 911s, and obviously the Mesca engines is the single block, and what you get from performance and a reliability point of view, I mean, these have been the go-to engines for such a long time. And this 911 997 GT3, the first 997.1 GT3, is really something iconic and truly the last of the true Porsche 911s, especially in the 997 shapes. So this review is about the 997.1 GT3 and why in the GT3s, why it's my favorite GT3. So let's get behind the wheel, drive it, and tell you a little bit more about what it's like to drive, what sort of a performance you get that from the 3.6 litre engine, and why you should invest and buy one of these. And not only can you put loads of miles on it, but also not lose hardly any money, and as a matter of fact, see it appreciate in value in the next 4 or 5 years to come. What the nice thing about this 997 GT3 right now for me in this review is that I've driven this approximately 8 miles, have got the engine and have got all the gauges to the right suitable temperature, whether that's oil, whether that's the engine temperature. So let's take it out and have a bit of fun. Firstly, right from the get-go, you've got the carbon package in this, meaning that the gear shifter is finished also in carbon and in Alcantara, combined with the fact that this has the short shift from factory. So the first part of this video is just to take it out and just get used to it before we start pressing all the buttons, whether that's the sport or the PASM button, and just get a slightly bit of a feel for this 911 on these roads. I mean, I've driven it now close to 40 miles. I know what it's like to drive, and it's been extremely impressive. I mean, we've had the second generation, the 997.2 GT3, as well as the 991.1 GT3, but this has really taken me back by a huge surprise, because it feels light, it feels nimble, and at the same time the smaller shape and size of it just makes it an all-round perfect 911 GT3 that you could daily and just with the comfort spec poodle around in, as well as take it out on the track if you want to. I think it's the perfect package. Let's press that sports button, and as you can hear, the valves on the sports exhaust have opened up. We'll wait for this car to pass by and listen to this amazing sound. I've just been between 5,000 to 6,000 RPM, and it's impressive how quickly it gets up to speed, and extremely engaging with a 6-speed manual gear shift with a short shift. It's truly enjoyable and memorable to drive one of these with the manual transmission. And when I say engaging, you've really got to work a little bit at getting this in the right gears. Currently, we also have the Porsche 981 GT4 in stock as well, and the clutch pedal feels heavy in comparison to how it feels on this 997 GT3. So this is definitely a positive and a point towards the 997 GT3. At the same time, you've got a very good turning circle, and so I've just been able to turn around in one turn. I'm holding on to the sports leather steering wheel. From an ergonomics point of view, it feels nice to wrap my hands around it. This is the Comfort Spec Porsche 911 GT3, but the seats do as good as a job as if you were in carbon bucket seats or bucket seats, because these are the sport seats with the hard back shell. But you've got the advantage of the seats having the almost 18-way electrical adjustability. They're also heated, and you've got lumbar support, meaning you can adjust the various side upholstery, the back upholstery, to kind of hold you in a comfortable, tighter and a well wrapped around position. And you've got cruise control should you need it if you're going to be doing a fair bit of motorway mileage. At the moment, this has done 31,000 miles, and to kind of put this perspective, from a 911 in 2007, you know, to have done 31,000 miles, that is incredibly low, because we've had a 991 GT3, which is the generation that was introduced in 2014, that had done 35,000 miles. So that was a car 7 years newer, having done 4,000 miles more. And one of the other things this has is the must-have PCCBs. It's not to say that the stainless steel brakes don't do as good as a job. I'm sure they do, but the PCCB is a very desirable option to have in these cars. This is just to simply retain future values on these, and from a spec point of view, it's a phenomenal item to have. This is finished in the basalt black metallic color, and you've got the GT3 alloys, which looks absolutely stunning. The inside is being spec'd incredibly well, starting from the fact that you've got the leather and Alcantara combination seats. I think the leather and Alcantara works much better in my point of view than simply leather, because they can feel a bit cold in the winter and very hot in the summer because of the sun. You've also got the navigation system and the standard PCM that came with this generation Porsche 911 in 2007. One thing they have upgraded is the temperature control buttons, both for the fan and for the temperature. You know, let's drive it more and tell you a little bit more about what you could expect from the performance on this. And you know, the little touches where you've got GT3 written here, GT3 there, the Porsche crest embossed on the headrest, all really nice touches. Just been working up this car, and it's incredible how great of a gearbox and an engine this 3.6 litre naturally aspirated Boxer 6 engine really is. And the 3.6 litre engine, for the first time, you know, in a GT3, has produced over 400 brake horsepower. This is pushing out 415 bhp. Torque-wise, that's 405 Newton meters of torque, and the 0 to 62 miles per hour is now possible in 4.3 seconds. And the top speed is a jaw-dropping 193 miles per hour. When I'm in a car like this with half a tank of fuel, all I want to do is just drive. It's a firm but equally nimble, agile drive in this GT3, and it's truly impressive the amount of engagement is required in this. In comparison to what is expected in the 997.2 GT3s, which were also introduced with the PDK transmission. For me, I think the Mesca engine does it, you know, any day of the week. You've got that grunt but very, I would say, natural feel and sound that you get from these engines. And overall, I wasn't ever sold with the concept of the 996 GT3s. They just never really did it for me. You could argue it's the headlights, how raw and dated that feels in terms of driving. Yes, it was the first GT3, but I think the 997 just takes it to a whole different level in every way, form or shape. I'm having a lot of fun driving this, and one of the main reasons is down to how tight it feels to drive this. Could it be the fact that this is a very well maintained example, an example that's not been used and abused? You know, it still feels like it's just been driven off the production line. Or is it the fact that all 997.1 GT3s offer this level of a drive? I'm not sure, but I've enjoyed this. And let's just show you around the vehicle a little bit and just kind of explain what else it has to offer. Firstly, from the body shape point of view, this has this wider turbo body shape. I mean, just looking at that back end, it is just so beautiful and elegant to look at. And the sleek lines that run throughout this Porsche 911s, especially looking at it from that bird's eye view, to me, again, is just eye-watering and great to look at. And the GT3 stands out completely. Firstly, looking at this beautiful rear wing there and back end vents that you find to bring in, you know, cold air into the engine to keep that warm. That twin central exhaust system that you find in the middle of the GT3. The fact that this isn't just, you know, a gimmick, it's there to have a real function to bring in cold air. And you've got the Michelin Pilot Cup Sport 2 tires in this. They're brand new, alongside the PCCB being absolutely brand new. You've got the GT3 alloys here as well. And just sort of looking over the vehicle and coming out all the way to the front of this vehicle, you know, the styling is completely different. You know, it's day and night apart from what you would expect in a standard 997. Firstly, starting from this part there, just the whole front exhaust system, the front wheel arches, it just looks so mean. And let me invite you in to the inside and show you a little bit of the interior, of what the interior has to offer. Now, on the interior, as I've mentioned, you've got the 18-way electrically adjustable sport seats with leather and Alcantara, and they've also got lumbar support. And additionally, the heated sport steering wheel cruise control. It has both the carbon package as well as the extended leather package and the Alcantara, and you've got the yellow sport seat belts, alongside the fact that this has the, you know, desirable spec overall from every point of view, whether that be, you know, the sports steering wheel, the sports exhaust system, the PCCBs, the GT3 alloys. This critically has it all. And lastly, if you're thinking about what sort of ownership history it has, I mean, the number of owners from memory, there are 5 owners from new, and the current 5th owner has had it for quite some time, for quite a number of years. I think it's been more than 5 or 6 years he's owned this vehicle for. And in terms of the service history, he's got a full Porsche main dealer service history, and the next service isn't due until 2023. So quite some time to go until the next service. And all done and maintained, including the fact that any of the serviceable item works or maintenance work, they've all been done at the main dealer. So if you are looking for a pristine example of a 997.1 GT3, or perhaps just looking for a GT3, whether that is something that you want to, you know, put 30,000 miles on, or whether you want it from an investment point of view, this is the GT3. Currently we have it in stock, and feel free to reach out. Lastly, thank you so much for watching our videos, because we earn money from YouTube by you watching these videos, and we donate that money to charities. So in a way, you're helping us fundraise by watching these videos. And just to kind of put it in perspective to you, over a course of a year, currently we earn about, you know, £4,000 from our YouTube channel. And with £4,000, you can feed 100 families for a whole month in Afghanistan, and that's a lot of money. And we've got a few other projects happening, one of them being building a school, alongside the fact that we're actually always in between building and completing wells in Afghanistan. So it means a lot for you guys to support us, watch our videos. I mean, currently on this channel, approximately 93% of our subscribers, 93% of the people watching our videos have not subscribed. So please don't forget, you know, it's just a nice, gentle reminder, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.